One of the rookie mistakes that I just consistently see entrepreneurs making is that their business model does not match their target lifestyle. And you may have heard me talk about this before. I really want to break this down for you so it's super clear because your business model must match your target lifestyle. This is really something a lot of people don't think about. And so what happens is they build something that they think is going to be successful. They build a company that is going to be that is successful as they've kind of loosely defined it, but they haven't been intentional about really asking themselves, what does success look like for me? Like, we all have different goals and aspirations and things we want for our lives. When we close our eyes and think about, what we want for our lives, we all have different pictures. We're supposed to. But what happens is a lot of people don't do this work up front and they get trapped. So I want to make sure you don't get trapped in a business model and lifestyle that don't match up. So, question for you. What lifestyle are you working for? What is your end goal? So I'll give you a couple options. There's really 3 options here. So the first lifestyle is the big business CEO lifestyle. I'll explain a little bit about what that looks like. So you run a big company, you manage 100 plus people. Maybe you have a big, huge office, and you spend most of your time, your day-to-day time is spent managing your C-suite, the executives, and raising money and managing your board. Your time is raising money, managing investors in a board, and and managing your team. Managing and raising, that's your job, right? And you get a lot of press for this. You get sexy press, lots of cool articles, but you're really dedicated to your company. You spend a lot of time at work and working on this company, right? That is the big business CEO. So think like you're building the next, in terms of scale, the next Uber, right? The second option is a small business CEO. So this looks a little bit different. You manage a team of, let's say, 50 or below people, something like that. And, really what's interesting is that in the United States, at least, a $25 million business is considered a small business in the US, right? So you're managing a small team in this scenario. Because your team is a little bit smaller, you have a little bit more flexibility with your schedule. So maybe there are certain days of the week that you don't work, or certain hours of the day that you don't work because you want to go spend time with friends, family, whatever it might be. And because you don't have this kind of sexier company like the big business CEO does, you get less press, less sexy attention, but it's your full-time job. You manage all of your employees. Maybe there's a particular area of the business you like to focus in and you have some flexibility to do that. And it's your full-time job, you run the company, etc. But it's a smaller team. That's what the small business CEO lifestyle looks like from a day-to-day. And finally, there's the moonlighter lifestyle. So in this model, your goal is to continue your existing 9-to-5 job and work on your company on the side. And that's the goal, to keep it there. And so you finish work, you come home, and you work on your company in the moonlight. So which of these 3 lifestyles are you working towards? Which one is most exciting to you? Which is the one that you want to see as what you do day to day as your end goal? So what I want to point out for you is that you cannot get trapped. And you can actually see below an outline of exactly which models, which of these lifestyles fit with some of the models that we talked about before around how they leave you broke too long or broke for a little bit or not broke for long. You can kind of see those below. And I want to highlight that I know a lot of you guys are interested in becoming small business CEOs and having the small business CEO lifestyle. And I want to highlight that in that particular lifestyle, the broke for a while or the broke too long models just do not work. They don't go together. They clash like oil and water. And here's why. For the startup game, for the small business CEO, is about revenue equals survival. Revenue equals thriving, right? And so if you are in a model where you are broke for a while, broke too long, you're not generating revenue. And that means that you are not thriving in this model. Now, in the other models, for example, in the Moonlighter model, you have other sources of funding. You have a full-time job, for goodness sake. So you have a lot more flexibility in how much money your company makes, because the goal is not for you to go full-time working on the company. The goal is for you to stay at your full-time job. So you have a little bit more flexibility here. And the name of the game, your startup game in the Moonlighter model, is not revenue equals thriving, right? For the big business CEO, there are a few other options if you are able to get investors to give you money. If you're able to get investors to give you money, right? In that model, investment equals thriving, or other outside validation, press equals thriving. There's some other kind of flexibility there. But for the small business CEO, revenue equals success, revenue equals thriving. That's why these models don't match up with a couple of these different lifestyles. Now, before you go, oh shoot, my model and my lifestyle don't match up, I guess I gotta change my lifestyle that I want. Just pause yourself for a second, because that's the quickest way to get miserable. Don't just change the lifestyle you want. The lifestyle you want is the lifestyle you want. You've got to build a business around the life that you want to have, as opposed to the other way around. A lot of people will not give you this advice. They'll just push you to build the thing that is sexy and most kind of commonly accepted to build as a successful company. But I would not be doing my job if I let you build companies that led you to be miserable and didn't match up to what you actually wanted for your life. So take a look and make sure that your business model matches your target lifestyle.